So I've been going on YouTube now for just over a month. I've done about 18 videos, including long form, short form. Got 160 subscribers so far, about 38,000 views on my channel. So I document some of the stuff I do as part of my day job, my building work, but I also do DIY videos. And I'll get to a bit more of this in a minute about where I really want this YouTube channel to go and why I want it to get there. It's got some purpose for me. It's not just a bit of fun. But first of all, I'll take you on a bit of a journey. Literally, I need to go and fill up the van with fuel and pop to Screwfix and do a few bits. I want to take you on more of a personal journey, help you understand just very briefly what I've done over the last 20 odd years of work, where I got to, why it all changed, what I'm doing now, and where I think it's going to go. So we're going to go for a drive, you're going to come with me, and I'm going to very quickly explain all of that. So when I was 18, I left my home in Essex. I kind of ran away a little bit. I didn't really. I just wanted to get out of Essex. And I moved to northwest Wales, where I worked in the outdoor industry. And I spent 10 years there. And that was great. Gorge walking, rock climbing, mountain walking, groups of young people coming away for weeks or weekends, getting to experience the great outdoors. And I grew to love it. Got well qualified, I grew up through the ranks. I did 2 years as a trainee instructor on £112 a month. Got a cheque at the end of the month. I had to drive half an hour to the nearest bank to go and bank it. But yeah, so I used to run. So once I had finished my trainee scheme, I became an instructor. And once I finished being an instructor, after a couple of years, I became a chief instructor. And so the story grows really as my experience grows, as my knowledge grows, and positions became available. I ended up becoming quite pivotal in the instructional department with a good core team of instructors and trainees around us, and we're all sort of pushing hard to deliver a quality service, train everybody to a high standard, and so on. And honestly, some of the best years of my life, 10 years living and working northwest Wales. I met my wife there, we had our first kid there, loads of fun. But that's when things changed. We decided to move closer to family, back down towards Essex kind of way, London way. And then I worked for another outdoor centre, more sort of inner city outdoor centre, a lot more low level, there's no water involved. We had a high ropes course, we had some mountain boarding, we had some bits and bobs, great fun, very different style of adventure, but equally as fun. Spent another 10 years there, so 20 years in total in the outdoor industry. During that time at the second outdoor centre, I grew into a role where I became an operations director. So further and further, growing further and further away from the actual outdoor pursuits lifestyle, and more pushing paper, running teams, dealing with trustees and budgets and all that stuff. Again, I'm not going to moan about that. That's a very pivotal part of that kind of work, and I really enjoyed supporting people by doing that style of work. But it wasn't 100% me. And actually, you know, throughout that whole 10 years of working there, we built a big part of the charity. It had turned it into a very profitable charity, and there was some serious building work that needed to happen for a year and a half. It more than quadrupled the income and meant that the charity could do some really excellent things with that extra income. Really turned a corner for the trust. So high performance kind of stuff. I had a team of 48 that I used to run, senior leadership teams, financial controllers, so dealing with accounts, dealing with trustees, dealing with reports, budgets. There's a lot of high pressure stuff. That came to an end, and I decided it was time for something new. So I spent some considerable time after that working with a construction company. It's a friend I knew from church, runs a fantastic construction company. These guys really know their stuff. Small team, but doing high level stuff. The houses they were building £1.5 million houses from scratch, and it honestly, absolute pleasure to work alongside these guys. Learned loads, got stuck in, grew as I am used to, grew myself into a role that was good. But then my wife needed a kidney removed, and that meant that I had to focus my time on my family. So I did that. My family became really important. I've got 3 kids. My wife was out of action for quite a while, and my kids needed me. I had to do the school runs, do the cooking, do the cleaning. Something in honesty, something I've taken for granted for a long time. My wife and I work well together, but we both do different things, and when you've got to do it all, it really drums home how much of a team you can be when you're together, and actually when one of you is out of action or absent, it puts a lot of pressure on. Anyway, so that forced a change for me, because I couldn't work as well as do all of that. Self-employed, no work, that's no income. So that was great. It actually was great because it kick-started a whole new chapter for me in my life. I've just arrived at Screwfix, so I'm going to go and get some bits that I need to keep these jobs running that I'm doing now, and I'll be back in just a second. There we go. That's Screwfix done. Off to get some petrol now. Diesel. I'll put diesel in the van, shall I? Picked up a couple of tile drill bits from Screwfix, some short screws for a bath panel, and some pipework stuff for a thermostatic mixer shower that I'm putting in. And that's all for tomorrow. Bank holiday Monday today. Still got stuff to do. Got to keep the wheels turning, cogs moving, all that jazz. So between Screwfix and the fuel station, I'm going to tell you a bit about what I'm doing now. And then once I filled up with fuel, on the way home, we're going to have a quick chat about where I really hope that all of this goes. So now, what we're doing now, I'm running my own business, my own building business. And that time in the construction industry was invaluable. It helped me grow in skills and confidence and knowledge, and I'm now applying that to my own business. So right around the time where my wife had her surgery, I got quite a few messages from people asking for work. So I thought, you know what, now's the time, if I'm ever going to do it, now is the time to go out on my own, get this done, and see if it can work. Massive thing for me. I've never done anything quite like it, so lots and lots of new experiences and things to learn. But I put myself in that position. I got to the point where I thought, with my wife being off and me not working, I'm making zero money, and that's not healthy. It's not sustainable. So if I run my own company, I can pick and choose the times that I work. I can make sure it fits around family time, and instead of working on a day rate, I can build in some profit margins and start to make my life a bit more sustainable. And so far, I'm only 4 months into that journey myself. So far, things are looking all right. It started in January this year, and I'm pretty booked up now till sort of October, November, and things are still rolling in. So let's just watch that one. That's what I'm doing at the minute. I'm doing all sorts, building garden office rooms. I've done one of those this year. Beautiful building, that one. Underfloor heating, plastered internal finish, patio doors, large windows. It really does look good. So that was fun. I've had lots of other things to do. I'm also doing a bathroom rip out and remodel now, so I'm midway through that. I've got patios to lay, I've got all sorts coming up, over the next few months. But I've also got family time, right? Part of the enjoyment of doing this is that I've got time with my family, and I'm able to plan work and schedules around birthday parties, around kids' holidays. We can actually go camping together. We're a big family of campers. So yeah, so that's that. That's where I'm currently at, living that lifestyle, trying to make it work. The government are making it hard with making tax digital and all sorts of stuff that I'm having to learn. But as part of what works for me is I'm in a new place, learning new things, and I've got something to work towards. And at the same time, I thought that's not challenging enough. Let's do YouTube. So that's where I met you guys, right? So we're doing well. 160 subscribers in just over a month. I put quite a few videos out, long format videos, some shorts to point towards those. So again, I'm in my learning zone, and yeah, sure, it's hard and fun at the same time. So that's where we are. Here's the fuel station. Driven around the same roundabout twice now, just so I can carry on talking just a little bit. And it's looking a bit weird. So I'm going to pull in, I'm going to fill up some diesel, and after that I'm going to talk to you a bit more about where I'm going. Why am I doing all this? What is the point? So, see you in just a minute. £131.92. Great. We are having a problem in the UK at the minute with diesel prices. It's May 2026. Diesel's up at 190. Pretty painful, but I won't whinge. Just got to make it work, haven't you? It's not like I've got a choice. So, where's this all going? It's a massive question, and so often in life I just put my best foot forwards and try and make something out of it. But what I have realised over the last 4 months of working on my own, running my own business with no one else really supporting or helping, I've realised that it can get lonely. And more to the point, I'm used to running teams, right? My last team was 48 people strong, and I'm down to 1, and that's just me. And I can cope with that, right? I'm a big boy, but I do miss it. And what I miss about it is the development of other people all the way through my working life. Even if I go all the way back to where the story began in Wales 22 years ago, it was a trainee scheme, you know, like 10 trainees a year. We were running that, developing them, developing their hard skills, soft skills, character development. There was a lot going on, lots of developing other people. And then in my last job, 48 people strong, there's an awful lot of development going there. You have to keep things moving. You can't just let standards drop. You have to keep them high. And I'm not the kind of guy who will just whinge at people with expectations and say, why aren't you doing this? I would rather be proactive. I'd rather develop people, train people, and raise the bar and then maintain it. So if people aren't quite upskilled enough, I will upskill them, and I will make sure that they've got everything they need to succeed. Now, I don't have that anymore, and I do miss it. I do miss it. And I think that's where this YouTube stuff is kicking in, really. My passion is developing skills, knowledge, confidence in other people, and I guess YouTube is my outlet, right? I can do that on YouTube. I can do DIY tutorials. I've done several things, you know, painting plaster, sharpening lawnmower blades. I've done bits and bobs so far, and my whole justification for that is to try and help people learn and grow and do things themselves. And that is kind of a big part of me that I've been missing recently. So I think that's why I'm doing it now. I'm on a journey of discovery myself. I'm trying to work all this out, but I'm pretty confident that that's where I've landed. And moving forwards, I want to do more of that, but I also want to help people practically. I quite enjoy giving. I quite enjoy giving of my time and finances to a degree. Obviously, I've got to be careful, but my wife and I both enjoy helping people around us where there's genuine need. Now, YouTube is kind of a twin outlet for me. It's what I've just mentioned about developing people, but it's also, my aim is also to make this pay, and with that money, do something good with it. And actually, although I'm not monetized yet, and although it feels like a long way away from being monetized, we're already in a good place to be able to help people financially. So I got a deal recently with someone who's willing, sponsor basically, who's willing to give me some materials, and that materials came to me for free. I'll do a YouTube videos coming out soon with those materials, but that meant that I was able to pocket a few £100 from a job that I was running because I didn't have to spend that money on the materials. And there's me thinking, great, few takeaways, you know, whatever. And then almost a day later, my wife reaches out to me and she says, listen, Mark, someone we both know struggling to deal with their rent this month, and my wife felt it on her heart to try and support this person. I'm not saying this because I want praise for this. I'm saying this because I'm being open and honest. And it was basically the same amount of money that I was making a saving on with my business and this sponsorship deal that this person needed to pay their rent, right? This is not just a bit of fun. This is not just a nice, good feeling. Genuine need. Single person with a couple of kids, really trying to make life work, and it's tough for them. I thought, how can I not? How can we not do that? So of course we gave this person the money, and you know, we kept it low key. Just have it, don't worry about it, just, you know, continue doing what you're doing, and just allow this money to bless you, to support you, and let's just move on, right? And you never know if they're going to need more. You never know if it's us that are going to be able to provide it, but in that moment we're able to help. And that really struck a chord with me. YouTube, I'm not monetized. It feels like a long way off. 160 subscribers, I've got to get 1,000, you know. It feels unattainable, but even now we're able to do good with what we've got, and I just love it. In a world that's full of hate, trouble, difficulties, you just got to open the news every day to be depressed in a week. And you know, I think it was Spider-Man that said, all it takes for evil to thrive is good people to do nothing. So let's make a difference. And you can make a difference, even if it's just to that one person. Well, then you've made a difference. So that's it. That's where I've been. That's what I'm doing at the minute, and that's where I hope to go. I really hope that this YouTube can just really open up a can of worms to helping people. I really hope that there's some money involved in this in the future that we can use to use my skills in building to actually bless people, to help people where there's genuine need. So that's the plan. And listen, I've got a long way to go, but if you're watching this, if you've made it to this point, please help me and just subscribe. That's all you got to do. Just subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing. And you know, maybe watch some of the videos, like the videos if you're interested in them. If you're not, don't bother, because what's the point? So join me on the journey. I'd love that. Help us grow, and you know, genuinely, let's do some good with this. Let's not just go and buy ourselves a Ferrari, because I'll be honest, I'm not that interested. Maybe a Porsche, but probably not, and that's okay. So you know, let's do something. Let's make it happen. And I'd love for you to be on that journey. Subscribe, watch some videos, comment on them, help me grow, help other people grow on the videos, and let's just see where it ends up. So thank you for making it this far. If you've made it this far, sorry if I've just rambled on and you got bored, but I guess you're not here, so you know, you can't tell me off. Anyway, see you soon.